Coming up next on Small Town Big Deal.
Oh, happy Christmas!
We visit a small town that really knows how to celebrate the dickens out of Christmas.
We make people forget their troubles for a few minutes.
Then, we're striking just the right note this Christmas.
Christmas time again.
We'll be in the company of Grammy Award-winning artist Stephen Curtis Chapman.
He opens up to us about the true meaning of Christmas.
You know, for many of us, and especially you, Jan, music is the best part of Christmas.
You know, Rodney knows that if I had my way, I'd start playing Christmas music in my house in October, but my kids will not allow me.
So you saying that you'd carve your Halloween pumpkins by Christmas music?
Maybe. But for sure, one of the best things about Christmas is the music.
And Christmas music is even better when it's sung by someone like Stephen Curtis Chapman.
We're all singing joy to the world. The Lord is come. Oh, we're singing joy.
Stephen Curtis Chapman is a 5-time Grammy Award-winning recording artist. When we enter his studio in his Nashville area home, our eyes are immediately drawn to this shelf. These are just some of the 59 Dove Awards he's received for outstanding achievement in Christian music. That's a record, making him one of the most heralded artists in the industry today.
When I came into the studio and I saw all of them lined up, I'm like, are they like a parting gift? Like anybody who comes to visit the studio is like, here, have a Dove Award. You know? I was like,
Stephen politely put up with us joking with him about so many awards. But what quickly comes to light is how truly humble he is.
But I've been surrounded my whole career with guys who are, I feel like, 10 times more talented than me. But there was something in the songs, I think, that I was writing that God just allowed people to connect with in a really special way. And nobody's any more amazed by it all than I am, and just so grateful.
Over the last 3 decades, Stephen's released 25 albums, 10 of them reaching gold or platinum status.
A song on his most recent album explores how music has long been a part of his life.
I wrote a song called Where the Bluegrass Grows, talking about where I come from, Paducah, Kentucky. And the opening line of that song is true. It says, the first sound I remember as a little barefoot boy was my daddy's Martin guitar and a 5-string banjo. The first memories I have are memories of music. I grew up singing with my family in church. One older brother that I grew up singing with, the Chapman brothers. We did a lot of music around Paducah, and then got a job at Opryland USA after I graduated from high school as a performer in one of the country music shows there, sang on the Grand Ole Opry when I was 19 with Roy Acuff. Amazing, you know, God just kind of blessed me with great opportunities right out of the gate.
Are we rolling?
Stephen's love for music and Christmas has inspired him to write many original Christmas songs. This one, penned and performed by Stephen, is already a modern classic.
Christmas time is here. Time to celebrate the best time of the year. The jingle bells are ringing and the carolers are singing their Christmas song. Christmas time is come. Can you hear the little Grandma's making a pumpkin pie and a world-famous casserole. Kids are playing games on the living room floor, and I'm waiting for my baby with some mistletoe. And it's Christmas time again, time to gather with your family and your friends. And thank God for his gift of love. We're gonna thank God for his gift of love. Thank God for his gift of love on Christmas. Oh yeah. Oh, it's Christmas time, yeah. Yes, it is. When joy to the world, the Lord is come. One more time, singing joy to the world, the Lord is come.
Up next, Christmas by the Book.
I'm Charles Dickens. It's all about me.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. You know, you can't only think of Christmas without thinking of Charles Dickens.
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that. Every Christmas, the words from his 1843 novella, A Christmas Carol, just leap off the pages.
And into the hearts of visitors to this small upstate New York town.
Horatia,
No racing.
come on,
No
let's go.
racing.
Skinny Atlas, New York likes to do Christmas by the book.
Since 1993, they've been celebrating the Dickens out of the holiday spirit. Or shall I say holiday spirits?
I am the late Jacob Marley, business partner of Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge. I'm Ebenezer Scrooge, and I'm experiencing a slight disorder of the stomach.
Hello and a happy Christmas to you. I'm Charles Dickens. It's all about me.
Actors in Victorian costume take to the streets, entertaining curious visitors by bringing Dickens' A Christmas Carol to life.
Nearly 20,000 come to this beautiful small town of just 2,400 to savor this step back in time. Skinny Atlas sits 20 miles west of Syracuse in the Finger Lakes region of New York State. The town name is Iroquois for Long Lake.
We build characters, and then with an improvisational base, we interact with people. Our purpose is to evoke the nostalgia of a distant past where people were kind and polite.
What a concept.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Something we could all use today.
Every proper gentleman has a neckerchief.
A neckerchief.
Neckerchief.
Neckerchief. Okay, if you're gonna do a Dickens Christmas in Skinny Atlas, then dress the part.
So costumer Tracy Green kindly helped us get in on the act.
Lovely, thank you.
Hello, happy Christmas, you fine American.
Jan and I, along with some of the actors, hitch a ride into town. We leave 21st century America behind and head to 19th century London in style.
Oh, happy Christmas.
As you might guess, Mr. Scrooge is in rare form.
What is Christmas? It's a time for paying bills when you've no money to pay them.
The wagon's arrival on Main Street is the town's version of the curtain going up.
My good friend Charles Dickens' newest work, A Christmas Carol.
So Rodney's not just getting into the spirit, he's definitely getting into the Dickens spirit.
I'm feeling quite 1842.
You know, it was almost like being at Disneyland with Mickey Mouse. I mean, everywhere these characters went, people wanted their pictures with them.
And that, I do like Christmas.
The spirit of Dickens spills off the streets and into the many wonderful small businesses of Skinny Atlas, like the beloved Sherwood Inn. Its lobby epitomizes the look and feel of Christmas for all who enter.
On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love came to me.
Back outside, the celebration continues. It's a testament to how Dickens' nearly 200-year-old tale stands the test of time.
But time was something Dickens didn't need to finish writing A Christmas Carol.
Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol very fast in 6 weeks. He started in early October of 1843, and the novel came out December 19th, 1843.
The 70-page novella was an instant hit, its first edition selling out in less than 6 days. Dickens drew from his own experience as a child to set the tone of the story.
The snow cover in Skinny Atlas is synonymous with 18th century London. Today, London only averages 3 inches of snow a year.
While snow does not happen often in England, it did when Dickens was a child. This is actually one of the first times that snow comes up within a Christmas story. So Dickens really kickstarts this idea of a white Christmas as a celebration.
Gathered together to share with us the warmth of your wonderful Christmas celebration.
Back in 21st century upstate New York, event producer Jim Green is doing his best Dickens for the crowd.
I've done this now for 20 years, and I have found so much satisfaction and fulfillment. We make people forget their troubles for a few minutes.
Inside the Skinny Atlas Library, Jim, playing Dickens, leads a public performance of A Christmas Carol.
Marley was dead, to begin with.
Dickens was the first author to do public readings, and he loved it.
He would take on many characters, and A Christmas Carol became one of his most popular public performances, where he would act out Scrooge and Bob Cratchit.
And Bob said, "What? What? It's a Christmas miracle."
It's a Christmas miracle!
Today, Rodney is playing Bob Cratchit, and I'm playing Mrs. Cratchit. Dickens, gives us some coaching.
And then Mrs. Cratchit's steaming the pudding, and she wants...
Other audience members take on roles too.
And suddenly...
At times, it's a little clunky, but that's the fun of it.
And Bob Cratchit said, "Please, sir, I'd like some more."
Please, sir, I'd like some more.
No, that's the wrong story. That's all...
And even in this rendition, the story from the 1800s still works its magic.
And as for Tiny Tim, who did not die, Scrooge became a second father. And it was often said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas in his heart.
And keeping Christmas in one's heart is what Skinny Atlas is all about. Still ahead, we'll continue our conversation with Stephen Curtis Chapman.
He shares the true meaning of Christmas. Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
Christmas time again. Time together with your family and your friends.
Earlier in the show, we met Stephen Curtis Chapman, one of the most well-known voices in Christian music.
Through the decades, his career has certainly grown, but so has the family he's created with his wife, Mary Beth.
I have an amazing family. We have what we say 3 natural and 3 supernatural children.
Those supernatural children began to enter their lives 20 years ago through adoption. The Chapmans soon learned that many families can't afford the cost of adoption, so they founded Show Hope, an organization dedicated to adoption advocacy and orphan care.
And before we knew it, we've been able to help almost 7,000 kids come home from 63 countries all over the world.
But while helping create other families, theirs changed forever when their youngest, Maria, passed away at just 5 years old.
Few can understand the devastating loss of a child, how even with healing, grief is still carried. Stephen talks about how their family's tragedy brought a deep-felt meaning of Christmas into their home not known before.
12 years ago, which was our first Christmas without Maria, without our little girl, that year, really, Christmas just sort of took on such a profoundly deeper meaning to me and to my family. But we got the stocking out that first year, and obviously a lot of tears, and just couldn't hardly breathe. You know, it's just, this is so heavy. And yet, in the midst of that, this depth of understanding of what it means that God came to be with us, and the way He came, you know, in Christ. For me, it was at a time of just such desperate need to know that God was really with us in the most difficult time we could ever imagine. We couldn't even imagine it. And to find that He really is God with us and God for us. To know that God loved us and loves us to that degree that He would come and see us in our need, our desperate, hopelessness. God says, I'm not going to leave you hopeless, but I'm going to come and give you life.
For him to come down out of, I don't know what heaven's like, but I think it's a whole lot better than this, and you would leave that to come and be in a manger and then to live his life and be persecuted and then to die on a cross for our sins so that we could all have salvation. It's like, why do you do that? You know, I mean, it's hard to understand that kind of love.
Well, that's what we celebrate at Christmas.
And this Christmas season, Stephen has just completed a song that couldn't be more perfect for the trying times in our world.
Peace on the mountain, peace in the valley, the bulls up on Wall Street, the lost sheep in the alley. Peace on the painted desert, down the Mississippi River. Peace on the takers, and peace on the givers. Peace in the blessing and the curse. Oh, let there be peace on earth. Oh, let there be peace on earth. Peace on the lovers, peace on the leavers, peace on the doubters, and on the true believers. The star in the spotlight, the addict in the shadows, the divers in the deep end, and the drowners in the shallows. For all I'm not and all it's worth, oh, let there be peace on earth. Oh, let there be peace on earth. Peace on the poor man, peace on the king, the radio flyers and the broken wings. Oh, let there be peace. Let there be peace on the babies being born and the roses on the grave. Winners and losers, the fearful and the brave. We're all brothers and sisters crying to the Father for peace on earth. Oh, let there be peace on earth. Oh, let there be peace on earth. Oh, let there be peace on earth. And let it start with me. Oh, let it start with me.
We'll be right back.
And let it start with me.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal.
You know, it was so generous of Stephen Curtis Chapman to share his music with us.
And his family story and their incredible faith.
We'd also like to thank the city of Skaneateles, New York, not only for the great Dickens characters, but for having snow for us.
I know, snow makes it seem so much more like Christmas.
Yeah, when the flakes are falling, he's not Mr. Bah Humbug.
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America. So we're going to get to try it?
We're ready for the taste test, Judy. We're ready, we're ready. This is my first figgy pudding. No, my first figgy pudding ever.
Didn't even know for sure if it was a thing.
Because maybe it's just in a song.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, and I was thinking I wouldn't like it, but this is really
pretty good.